So when I was a kid, I lived in the town that I'm in right now. I'm passing through this on the way home from a camping trip. It's Lake City, Florida. I lived here for about 3.5 years. I went to 3 grades of school here. I went to 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then my family moved again. So in the last home we lived in here, I was in the 6th grade. I think we moved there when I was in the 5th grade. But I started selling newspapers, and I mowed all of my neighbors' grass, and I also raked their yards for money. It was the job that I did as what was that then, 12-year-old, 10, 11, 12-year-old. Anyway, and I kept most of my own money. I had to give some of it to my parents. Taught me some responsibility. But I don't even remember how I found it then, because now it'd be much easier. You could just search for it online, right? But I ordered an authentic Boomerang from Australia, and I didn't ask for permission. I didn't tell anyone, and I had it shipped to my neighbor's home. There was an elderly couple that lived next door to us. I raked their leaves. They had a lot of trees, and I raked their leaves in the fall. And anyway, so I had it shipped to them. So and this is before tracking, people. So it was in the middle of the summer, and I was watching every day for a truck to arrive at their house and for the delivery guy to get out to deliver a package. So anyway, finally, one day I was in my bedroom and I heard a truck stop. I looked out the window. It was at my neighbor's house. I ran outside. My neighbor was already meeting the, I think it was UPS guy, and there was my package from Australia. So I, went up to the neighbor, and he said, "Hey, this is for you." I said, "Wow, well, we got the wrong address, whatever." I got my package. I ran inside and I hid it before my mom saw what I had. So I took that thing out and looked at it, and it came with a little tiny card that demonstrated or explained how you should throw it, and I was so excited about that thing. So I hid it in my room. I was looking for an opportunity to take it outside and play with it. Well, my mom found it, and she told me that I could not do it in the yard. We were in a residential neighborhood. We had a big backyard, but it was full of trees, and there was houses all around us. It was a little cul-de-sac. She's concerned I'd hurt something, maybe break somebody's window or something. So I put it away. Well, the next opportunity to do something was going to be all the way at the end of the week, and I was hopeful that my dad would take me to to a football field or something where I could throw it. We have several around the town. Well, I couldn't wait. I was impatient. So we had windows that had a crank on them to open them. So basically the windows would close like this, and then they would open like this, and the way that you did that is by cranking them out. So and mine just so happened not to have a screen on it. So I cranked the window out, and I dropped my Boomerang outside of the house behind the bushes. So and then I cranked it closed, or at least I thought I did, but I was really rushing, right? My mom was taking a shower, and I wanted to go outside and grab the Boomerang, try it a couple times, and come back in, and she'd never know, all right? So anyway, dropped it outside behind the bushes through the window, went outside the front door, went behind the bushes, got it, and then I stood up. And I had not rolled the window in all the way. So it was, it's like this, and you crank it open, and then you've got, a metal frame around the glass, and honestly, it's got sharp aluminum corners. So I had not rolled it back in all the way, and when I stood up, I hit my head right on the corner of that window, and I put a big gash in my head. I mean, immediately blood was just running down my face. It was all in my hair, and I ran inside. And my mom was getting out of the shower. She saw the blood all over me. She made me go sit in the kitchen in a chair, and she tried to figure out what was going on. All this time I had the Boomerang in my hand, but I'd completely forgotten it, right? Well, my mom took it out of my hand, and I vividly remember, even though I was kind of dazed at the time, her putting it on top of the cabinets in the kitchen. And then she doctored me up, and I didn't need stitches. I mean, maybe I did. If I ever had to shave my head, I probably have scars all over it from stuff like this. But I didn't throw the Boomerang. In fact, I never threw the Boomerang, because about a month later, it was this is the kind of thing we did when I was a kid. We would move kind of at short notice. About a month later, my family moved. And when we moved out of the house, no one thought of, including me, my Boomerang, which was on top of the cabinets in the kitchen. And I keep saying I'm going to do this with my family, and they think it's crazy. But today, I'm going to stop at that house and knock on the door and explain to them that I used to live there and that I left something on the top of the cabinets in the kitchen. Let's see, that would have been 1988. So we're talking about 34 years ago, 33 years ago. So anyway, we'll see how that turns out. People probably think I'm crazy. I'm dressed kind of like a hobo because I'm coming back from a camping trip, but let's see what they think. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can remember my way around this neighborhood. I used to ride my bike all in here. I remember specifically because I mowed my neighbor's grass, I would ride my bike up to the gas station to get gasoline for my lawnmower and just hang the gas can on my handlebars, which caused a couple of crashes because a heavy 5-gallon gas can hanging off your handlebars is a little problematic when you're a 10-year-old. So don't do that at home, kids. I'm gonna turn in here and see if it takes me back in the neighborhood. Yep, it did. Okay, I need to take a right here, I think. Just the feel of it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is sort of feeling right. The houses all look kind of similar. I mean, obviously a lot older, but very similar. Osceola Place. The name of my street was Osceola Circle, I believe. Let's see. You know what? I think they've renamed the street. That was it back there. They've renamed the street. Let me turn around. Yep, I recognized it. Houses are different colors. Some have additions, and I think there's a couple things that are missing. Maybe some trees and stuff, but I remember it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Caleb Court. That's not what they called it back then. Oh man, it appears the home is empty. I'm gonna knock on the door anyway just to see what happens. This is it right here. This is the place. Absolutely positive, no doubt in my mind. So, the house is vacant, and I peeked through the front window, and you can see into the kitchen, and it's got a different layout now. It's not the same as it was when I lived here in 1988. Not quite, it's a little bit different. So, that means that the cabinets were redone, and Boomerang probably long gone. Maybe the next tenants found it and they got some use out of it. So anyway, been wanting to check on this for years, so at least I've done it. And so let me show you this. So the windows are different now, but that was the window right there on the rear of the house, and they used to have the little wind out or crank out windows, and there was a hedge there in front of the house at that time. So I dropped my Boomerang behind the hedge, and that's where it landed. And over here, this is the neighbor that I had it delivered to. I raked their leaves in the fall. They have oak trees, and they used to have something else. Well, that one right there is different, but they used to have some kind of tree, like a maple tree in the front. Made all kinds of mess. There's a lantana that's been growing there since I was a kid. I used to see hummingbirds there, and I would just sit still and hide behind the bushes and watch them. That was kind of cool. We had a family of armadillos that lived in the back corner of this, and that shed was not there. Back then, armadillos, those at least, you could walk up to them and catch them. And I used to do that. I'd grab them by the tail and pick them up. That's before I knew that armadillos carry diseases which can be transmitted to humans. They say they carry leprosy. It's not the leprosy of like biblical times. It's a different illness that they now call leprosy, but it's still dangerous to humans. Anyway, this house is in decline compared to the way it used to be. In fact, this whole neighborhood is a little bit in decline. There was a single lady that lived there. I think she was a teacher. She was in her, like she was a middle-aged lady. I raked her leaves and mowed her grass in the summer. And these people back there, I raked their leaves and mowed their grass in the summer. And interestingly, I got the idea to do that because there was a high school guy that would show up in a truck with a push mower, and he was doing it, and I saw that he was making money doing it. And he would just come through the neighborhood and ask people, hey, do you need your yard mowed? Do you need, and that's how he made money. So I thought, hey, if this guy can do it, I can do it. It was good for me because I was an extremely fat kid, and starting that is what it led me to get into good shape. By the time I was maybe 14, I was very fit and, could finally run for the first time in my life. So anyway, good memories, funny memories. So I lived here for about a year. 1987, 1988, maybe it was 88, 89. I think that movie, the Michael Keaton Batman movie, came out when I lived here. I remember that specifically because I was dying to go see it. But my dad probably made the wise decision, and he decided it was too violent for our family to go watch it, and we didn't go see it. But anyway, oh well. Hope somebody found that boomerang and had some fun with it. I think I'm going to lock the rear differential. I haven't even been in four-wheel drive until now. Through fine.